All right, we are live.
Welcome. Do we have anybody here yet? Welcome, everyone. I'm going to hop over here on YouTube from my phone.
Yeah, when I went onto YouTube a couple seconds ago, we had a couple people waiting. Oh, we got 15.
Sweet.
All right.
Yay, guys.
Can you guys let us know in the comments how the video quality looks? Our internet provider just told us that there's an outage, so we are running on a hotspot right now.
Yes, so let us know.
So fingers
please.
crossed. Hopefully everything looks okay. But
Candace is here.
We'll have to
Welcome,
let you know,
Candace. Guys,
or
hit the
hear from
like
you,
button,
rather.
please, and subscribe if you haven't yet.
All right.
Woo.
Okay, this says it looks good. Looks good
Okay.
here, Jack. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Candace.
Yay.
All right, great. Well, it sounds like we're in business.
This is really fantastic.
Yeah, we were like in a panic,
We were
recreating a new event so we could, reschedule the event and everything in case we needed to.
Yeah.
We had some bad times with internet back in our old house.
Mm-hmm.
So we got like the super deluxe plan with all the bandwidth, and now it doesn't work at all. So, you do what you can.
It was rough. Guys, but yeah, please let us know if at any point we start to, freeze and everything. Just like shoot us a comment there so that we can do something about that. That would be good. All right. Should we just dive in?
Yeah.
To the introduction?
Well, let's say hi to these three people that we haven't said hi to yet. Sam, Cece, Stephanie, welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Good to have
it's
you here.
Good to have you guys here. Anyone who's here right now, let us know. Drop us a comment in the chat. Is this your first time here with us on a live, or have you attended a live before? Let us know. And I just realized I don't have my water.
Here, I'll get your water. How about you start introducing us?
All right, sounds good. It's right over there. All right, guys, it is so great to have you all here. We are going to be talking about bookkeeping and accounting, but we're also going to have giveaways. And, as soon as I say accounting, yay, first time here, welcome. I hope that you get one of the giveaways. First time, this is awesome. We got like several first timers. We have like a very, very loyal following. So I know, yes, Stephanie. Stephanie's been here before, and we just so appreciate you guys so much. But yeah, we're going to have a good time tonight, and our hope and desire is to help to reduce any fear and anxiety that you might have around your bookkeeping. So let us know in the comments, are you feeling anxious right now because you don't really know how to do your bookkeeping, or maybe you're feeling anxious because you're not totally sure how to use My Reseller Genie? Let us know. Oh man, Blanca from Houston, Texas. Girl, we have just been praying for everybody with the floods and just, with, all of that. It's been really, really just heartbreaking to see, but it's really neat to see everybody come together. So hope that you are doing well. Hopefully that you didn't have any family or friends affected by that. So, but it's good to have you here. The Picking Larkers here, Luann, Huntsbury, great to have you guys. Okay, so let me just do a quick introduction about who we are, since we do have a couple of first timers. My name is Faith. This is my husband, Paul. We've been married for 8.5 years. I have been a reseller that pretty much that whole time, although I will say I'm very, very part-time reselling right now. We just had a baby, and then also most of my time has been spent on My Reseller Genie. So Michaela says, I'm new to MRG, hoping to get it all set up so I can have even more data than what my current spreadsheet offers me. Yes, we are all about data, and we can definitely help you with that. So that's exciting. So very long story short, my first year of reselling, it was exciting because I quickly fell in love with it, and I needed something to do, and it was just right up my alley. Loved it. But then tax season rolled around, and it was one of the most stressful seasons of my life. And I'm not being dramatic. And let me drop a comment in the chat if you guys can relate to that. I had headaches for what felt like 3 months. I did cry several times too, and it was legit crying. And my husband, Paul, was working in accounting at the time. And so he would come home from work and he would just be just see me just in agony, just miserable, not even knowing what to do. And so he was absolutely amazing. He is amazing. And he created a very just simple spreadsheet for me to help me with my numbers. And again, long story short, that little spreadsheet, we realized that there were a lot of resellers in the community that needed an accounting solution as well, and they also didn't know what to do. So COVID came around a few years later, and we realized at that time hey, some folks could really use this. So we decided to kind of beef up that spreadsheet, offer that to the reselling community, sold over 500 copies of that, got really, really good feedback, and then realized that in order to be able to help even more people, we really needed to go web-based and get away from spreadsheets, because spreadsheets are fantastic, but even those can be a little bit daunting to a lot of us resellers, myself included. So we created My Reseller Genie, and it's us, and we have several other wonderful people on our team. Evie is in the chat. She's going to help moderate for us tonight. Evie, please say hi if you haven't yet. And yeah, so we're just super, super excited to be helping you guys. And we are going to be starting with a demo of, just how to use My Reseller Genie, how to get it set up. And then we will dive into a Q&A time, right?
Almost right. Yeah.
Almost
so I didn't
right.
give you a
Okay.
heads up. I'm changing up the demo a little bit
Okay,
tonight.
my
So usually what we do is what Faith was saying. We kind of like show you setup, and then we walk through everything else. But what we're going to do tonight is try and focus on just some of the key features and how they can help you. So it won't be quite as long as the demo usually is, so that we can spend more time on answering your questions.
Yeah.
So should we get started?
Yeah, let's get started.
And guys, did you mention we're doing giveaways?
Yes, I did mention we have some awesome giveaways. So I'm going to wait to tell you what those are. But yeah, we're super excited about that. Crystal's here. She's a little bit confused about how to read the reports. Awesome. Great. So yeah, we will get to questions after the demo. So stick around for all of that. And this is being recorded right now, and it'll be posted on our channel. But yeah, please, feel free to start asking questions now. And then we will just get to those in order. So guys, we're super excited. Also, if you don't mind, before we dive in, if you guys are on social media, if you're on Instagram, on Facebook, have a business page for your reselling business, we would so appreciate if you just went and copied the link to this live and went ahead and just shared it, just shot it out, in your Instagram stories and your Facebook stories, because there are so many resellers who haven't heard about us still, and who really, really need a solution, and they're sitting at home stressed right now thinking about how in the world to do this. So we'd really, really appreciate that. Okay. Awesome. Let's dive in.
Yeah. Okay. So let me add my screen to the stage, and that's not the right window. All right. So we'll pull up My Reseller Genie. Get signed into the right account. Okay. All right. So, like Faith was saying, a lot of people kind of start off using spreadsheets to do their accounting. And there is a time and a place for spreadsheets, but it's definitely not an ideal medium for doing your accounting. One of the areas where My Reseller Genie can help you out is saving time compared to spreadsheets. So with reselling, you have multiple sale platforms usually, and on those sale platforms you have sale transactions, you have fees, you have refunds, you have inventory. So it's a lot of stuff to pull together, and then every platform looks a little bit different. So My Reseller Genie right now integrates with eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. We're working on more integrations. We actually have a couple integrations that are in testing right now. So we're excited to expand that offering. But for eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, we can import all of your sales, your fees, your refunds. If you track inventory, we can also import new listings for you. And the way that's going to look when you're in Genie is you see these notifications up here. Anytime you have new data, there's going to be a notification for you. So let's click on this. And so when you have new sales in, click here to review new sales. All right, so this is what the screen looks like. Let me close this message down. We did push an update earlier this week, so that's what that's talking about. So on this review sales screen, depending on how you account for inventory, that'll change how you deal with it. So if you're just using the cash inventory method, so you're not tracking inventory, you'll just select the items and then click Mark Reviewed. But if you do track inventory, what you'll do is you'll highlight the items that you want to match to inventory and click on Match to Inventory. So what does inventory matching mean? Well, sales are imported in, but they don't have a purchase price or purchase date information attached to them from the sale platform. So the inventory is already stored in My Reseller Genie. So you just need to tell My Reseller Genie, hey, this inventory belongs with this sale, so that the inventory accounting gets done properly. And what Genie does is it helps to automate this matching process for you. So it'll first look for item title matches. So if you have an identical item title in Genie that matches up to that sale, it'll show it to you here. And you can select and click match sales to inventory. The other way it does it is by SKU. So if you're using a unique SKU identifier, even if your item titles don't match up, Genie will still be able to match the items by SKU. So I'll highlight that and click match sales to inventory. And before I do that, I do want to point out, if for some reason it can't auto match it, you can click go to manual sales matching, which I'll do. And you can either search for it in your inventory, or if it's not in your inventory, you can click add inventory details and add the information right then and there. All right, now I'm going to go back to the auto matching just to save time. Click submit, and then voila, I have my inventory information attached to my sales. So this is a lot faster, as you can see, than logging into your sale platform, finding your new sales, pulling out the revenue information, going to your spreadsheet, finding the inventory, attaching the sale price to the inventory, and then all the fees to the sale. It's a lot smoother. And actually, on that note, as far as attaching fees to sales, that's another great area where Genie can help save you time while also giving you better insight into your data. So with Poshmark and Mercari, it's a little more straightforward because your transactions have the shipping and the fees all as one transaction. But in eBay, it's a little more complicated. You have your sale transaction, which has a final value fee on it. And then you have a separate shipping label transaction. And if you do promoted listings, that's another separate transaction.
So many fees.
So many fees. And they're not, boxed up nice and neat for you. But Genie will pull all that data in and it'll associate the fees with the sales. So if I go to transaction details and sales, I can look over. I want to find something that's got, this is a good example here.
Kelly is here. Hey, Kelly from
Nebraska.
That's awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome, Kelly. Okay, so when I open up the sale, I've got shipping costs and I've got other fees. I can actually click on these fields to see all the expenses that My Reseller Genie has tied together. So I've got this whole list here. I've got my shipping label transaction. I've got the promoted listing fee, and then the final value fee.
Amazing.
All nicely tied together. So obviously this really helps when you're trying to get granular and see, like, did I actually make money on the sale? Because at the end of the day, if you're not making money on your sales, why are you making them, right?
Yeah. And can I just say too, that Paul just said the word granular, and this is pretty granular. So for those of you guys who are new, maybe you've never seen My Reseller Genie at work. Maybe all you're just seeing is these numbers that are just flying by you, and you're like, whoa, slow down. Don't worry. We're going to show you some really cool, colorful charts and graphs too that can just help you if you're more visual, and also just give yourself a little bit of time, because this is something new, and it takes just a little bit to get acclimated, and just see all the columns and everything like that. So don't be overwhelmed. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just hang in there, because we're gonna help with that.
Yeah. So summarizing what we just talked through, you can save a lot of time by having the sale platform data integrated for you. And on that note, I also want to talk about expense integrations. So My Reseller Genie integrates with over 12,000 financial institutions. So if you have a credit card or a bank account that you're using for your business, you can connect that to My Reseller Genie. And the way you do that, you click over on integrations, click add expense integration, and then you'll name your account. You'll set a start date. So this is like how far back it will pull transactions for. Now, different institutions have different rules, but usually we can get 2 years of data. So whenever you set the start date, we're going to try and pull back to that date as long as the bank allows us. If they don't, you can upload spreadsheets to My Reseller Genie. So there is a fallback option if it doesn't work exactly as intended. But you just select your bank, click on it, and then put in your login credentials, and My Reseller Genie makes the connection to that account and starts pulling in data.
One of my favorite features, because it's so simple, especially if you have a separate business banking account, which we recommend. You don't have to, but it's very, very helpful to keep it separate.
Yeah. And when those expenses first pull in, so we talked about notifications, and like when you get new data, you'll see these notifications. So you'll have a click here to review new expenses, and you'll see a screen like this. My Reseller Genie is going to try and assign expense categories to all the expenses that we can. For that initial import, it's not going to be 100% accurate, and you're going to have to do some cleanup on that. But this is really
to learn, right?
Yeah.
It has to learn, yeah.
But what it's going to do as you do that bookkeeping and then you mark those transactions as reviewed is it's going to take that information, it's going to learn how you do bookkeeping so that new transactions, when they get pulled in, My Reseller Genie can make educated guesses about where those expenses should go. So it's not going to be totally hands off, but it's going to take some of the load off of you with your bookkeeping. So yeah, bringing that back, just like with the sale platforms, the expense integrations in Genie are massive time savers, so that you don't need to, in addition to going to your sales platforms, you don't need to go to your bank account, your credit card, to pull in those expenses. And it happens as they're occurring, so you get more real-time information.
Yeah.
So, all right, we've covered sale platform integrations. We've covered expense integrations. The last piece that I want to talk about is getting insight into this information, because there's really 2 reasons we do bookkeeping. The one is taxes, and that's the smaller reason. Yes, you do need to file taxes, and you need to know what your expenses and revenue are to do that. But the bigger reason we do bookkeeping is to run our business throughout the year. So all that to say, if we're doing all this work keeping up our books, what does it matter if we can't get insights into our numbers?
Yeah.
And that's another area where My Reseller Genie is really going to thrive for you.
Yeah. Can I just ask a question here? Guys, like, you don't have to answer in the chat, but I want you to try to answer this question just for yourself. Do you actually, like, really truly know how profitable you are? So how much money you're able to pocket, like, after all the fees, all the expenses, everything. And I don't mean, do you think you know? I mean, do you actually know? Have you done the math? And so you don't need to, comment that. But I will just say that we have talked to hundreds and hundreds of resellers. And unfortunately, and I can say this because I used to be in that category too. But there are so many resellers who think that they're profitable, and then they'll either sign up, for My Reseller Genie, or, plug in the numbers themselves, and they realize, oh my goodness, I'm actually not really making as much as I thought I was. Or, wow, I'm spending way more, on shipping supplies than I thought I was. And it's so important, because like, as businesses, we're trying to grow here, right? And the market's crazy, everything's just crazy right now in the world, and it's so important, more important than ever, to actually know those numbers, know that data, so that you can use it for your benefit to actually grow. So I could keep going off of that, but that's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, it's a really important question to ask. And there's a couple different ways that My Reseller Genie helps to address this question. So we have dashboards and we have reports. Now, both of those help to give you insight into what's going on in your business. So let me go over to the dashboards tab. The first thing that you see when you log in, this is just a really high level view of your business. So there's a time filter up here. It's going to show you the current year by default, but you can change it to current month, week, day, custom time range. And that's going to show you your total income, total expenses, and total profit. Really, really high level stuff, but it's nice because you can get these insights really quickly. And if you are more of a charts person, you can actually scroll down. You can see charts
love the charts
of that over time. So that's one way that you can gain insight into your numbers with Genie. Now, if you want to dig a little deeper than what this is showing you, let me show you a profit and loss report. So profit and loss statement is a fundamental accounting report. If you're not familiar with it, it's a summary of all your income and expenses in one place.
So nice.
So with Genie, you can select a period, whether it's the whole year, a quarter, a month, or some other custom time range. And then you can click Run Report. And you'll get all of that data down below. So remember I was saying all of your income and expenses in one place. So here's your income up here. And then we've got cost of sales section and other business expenses. If you want to learn more about why it's organized the way it is, we have this really helpful info icon that just talks about the organization of profit and loss statements and how to use them when you're evaluating your business. But this information is really great for showing you your total revenue from eBay, your total refunds from eBay. This test account has a garage sale in it. And then all of our expenses down below. Now, let's say you're looking at the report and you're wondering, how is shipping fees so high, for example? So you can click on that, and then a detail of everything that makes up that number shows up below. So this can be really helpful if a number seems high, or if maybe you see an account that you didn't expect to see. Maybe something got auto-categorized in a way that you don't normally do your books and you need to update it. So you could click there, and then you can double click and edit it right from the P&L.
So user-friendly.
A lot of functionality to be had there. Now, what if you're wanting to dig a little bit deeper and you say, okay, well, that's my eBay revenue, but what's my profitability look like? I want to dig more in on my sales. Let me take you back to dashboards. So there's a sales analytics view that you can select. And this dashboard is highly functional. So we have like our basic time filters at the top here. We have some nice summary statistics, gross profit, average sale price, sell-through rate. And then down here, we can see our gross profit by department, as well as the number of sales in each department. And this you can drill down to category, subcategory, brand. We can see our gross profit by how long the item was listed, by the platform. A lot of information here, but there's also this great toggle up here called advanced filtering, which if we click on it, what Genie does is it allows you to filter your sales by any data that's stored in My Reseller Genie. So if you want to just look at items that contain Colombia in the title, you can type that in, and then all your charts update with that information. And it's not even constrained to just one filter. You can do compound filters and dig in on department contains clothing. And then this makes the ability to drill in here even better. So you can see your categories, subcategories, and brand.
Awesome.
So all this to say, there's kind of like 3 levels of reporting that you can get with Genie. It's like really high level, kind of more granular, but still middle of the road. And then you can go really deep with our sales analytics. So depending on how much time you have to invest into studying your business, we've got you covered in all 3 phases. So that's that's the demo. That's a brief summary. So if you think you could benefit from saving time, getting more accurate records, having more timely insights into your business,
and making tax time a breeze because of those things.
Yeah. Then definitely think about My Reseller Genie. I mean, based on what you've seen now, would it be crazy to try My Reseller Genie out?
Awesome.
All right, so let us know your questions.
Yes, and we do have some of those, but before we do that, I just wanted to really quickly just let you guys know about the pricing and just be like upfront about that, because some people think, oh, this is great, but it's probably going to cost $100. We're very, very affordable. We have 3 plans right now. Anywhere from our basic to ultimate, and the pricing is from $9.99 a month to $19.99 a month. Yeah, thank you. We can just put that banner up. You can cancel anytime, 14-day money back guarantee. And yeah, it's really, really worth it just to at least try it out. I will say the ultimate plan is the one that has the most features, obviously, as well as those integrations. If you guys hear some laughing upstairs, that's our son right now. Grandma is over here watching him. But yeah, so definitely go ahead and check that out. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Awesome.
Okay, guys, we got some awesome questions, but I feel like we should do a giveaway first before we dive into the questions. So what do you want to give away, babe?
You figure that out.
Okay.
I will work on getting the giveaway screen set up.
Okay, I will ask you guys this right now. So we have 2 different giveaways. We are going to be giving away either a free My Reseller Genie tote. Can you guys see this in the screen? Shoot, help me. Yeah, but it is the IKEA style tote, and it's massive, and we are well known for them. People love our bags. You can take all your packages to the post office, and then you can go grocery shopping. You can go sourcing with them. They're fantastic. So we either have that as a giveaway, or we are going to give away a free month of the My Reseller Genie Ultimate plan. So you guys let us know in the chat right now, which one do you want us to do first, bag or the Ultimate plan for a month? Let us know. Will you have annual plans soon? That's a good question, Eric. Paul?
I won't say soon.
It is on our radar, though.
Yeah, it is on our radar. There's a lot of thought that goes into how you want to structure things like that and figuring out the timing. So it's definitely on our radar. It's something that we do plan to do, but there's a lot of other things that are in the pipeline right now, which are taking priority.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, it looks like the consensus is to give away the tote first. And don't worry, we will be giving away a free month of our ultimate plan too. But first, let's do the tote. So guys, in the chat, type the word totes starting now. So go ahead and do that. Then we're going to do a random draw.
I like your odds. There's only 30 people watching right now.
I know, this is great, guys. So yeah, one of you guys is gonna get a tote.
Greater than 3% chance.
But yep.
And no one's entered yet.
Make sure, guys, you're saying totes with an S, plural. Because we have some tote people. Oh, really? No, I'm getting a lot.
Are you?
Yeah.
Maybe it's not updating on my end.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
1 second. Let me, because there's.
Oh, do you have a couple? Oh, that one.
Yeah. So we set up like a backup stream in case it didn't work.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that was the problem.
You did that. Oh, no. Let's hope. Guys, if you're just joining us, we had a, our Wi-Fi is out, so we are on a hotspot right now. But we got a comment from the carrier. Who was it? I forget who we have. But, yeah, and there is a Wi-Fi outage everywhere around us. So,
all right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to delete the other stream so that I can't get confused when I'm setting this up.
That's a good point. Okay, good.
All right, so that's this one.
All right, and I see some more questions coming in, guys. These are good. We're going to get to them in just a second after we figure out this giveaway here.
Okay. So I think I was on the right one the first time.
You were. Okay.
But for some reason, it just wasn't collecting the responses.
We're doing multiple draws. Okay.
Maybe. Okay, there we go.
There they are.
Yeah, maybe it was getting confused because
But I know, like, we have a lot more
because
than
there were
7.
2 streams.
Okay, hey guys, because we had a little bit of a glitch there, go ahead and enter in totes into the comment section again. So sorry about that, but I know that more than 7 of you guys entered in right now. Yeah, we just had a little glitch. So go ahead, enter again, hashtag totes plural in the chat, and may the best reseller win.
Remember, guys, to put hashtag in front of your totes.
Oh, that's probably the problem because people weren't okay. Did they have to do a hashtag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Hashtag totes. Hashtag. We all want that bag, right? And yeah, we're going to ship it to you for free. So let me show it to you guys again because baby, you were a little bit in the way here. There we go. Ta-da! But yeah, it is fantastic. Very trendy too with the white and the forest green. And yeah, we will ship it to you guys for free. All right, we got 16 entries. We're going to draw it soon. Hashtag
5
totes.
seconds.
4,
3,
3,
2, 1.
Do. All right, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Da, 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 da. The picking larker. Congratulations. Evie's going to let you know in the chat what you need to do to claim your prize. But you basically just email us and we will ship that to you for free. Congrats, guys. We will have more giveaways, so stay tuned. But we are going to go back through the chat and answer questions in the order that they came. So, guys, go ahead, drop your questions. It can be about My Reseller Genie. I mean, hey, if you have a reselling question, we can try to answer that too. All right. Oh, Zachary.
Shout out, Zach.
MRG is an incredible product with great user interface and features and exceptional customer support and service. Trust me, it's well worth the small monthly cost for what it does for my business. Hashtag ultimate plan, which, yes, Zachary, I would totally agree with you. The ultimate plan is where it's at. Thank you so much for that. We just have the best customers. All right. Eric says, how do we know if all the data is up to date? Do I have to manually force push new data? Great question.
Yeah, great question. So when new data comes in, you're going to get a notification. So you can be looking at the dates of those like sales and expenses and things to see like, am I up to date or not? Now, also, if one of your accounts becomes disconnected, you'll get a notification that says, hey, this is disconnected. Click here to reconnect. You won't need to manually force push new data. We have, so every 24 hours for the sale platform integrations, we will refresh them to pull in new data. And if you want to like manually force push new data, you can. You would just go to the integrations tab and there's a refresh button right there. So it's an option, but you don't have to do it.
Nice. All right, who's next?
All right, so Lisa, she says that she doesn't have a dashboards tab.
And she's on the ultimate plan.
Yeah, try refreshing your screen because we pushed that update on Monday. So if you've had the browser window open, you may not have gotten the update if it hasn't been refreshed.
Yeah, and Lisa, let us know how that goes. Okay, so the picking larker, our giveaway winner, says, one of the metrics I'd like to follow is how much revenue each sale brings in. I was using vendor to assign where a purchase was made, but I think that's going to create issues down the road. So it sounds like she's currently using us.
Yeah, so the goal with the vendor is where the purchase was made. So you won't run into issues down the road by assigning your purchase source in the vendor field. That's the intended use. As far as following how much revenue each sale brings in, I don't know. I think I'm probably not understanding your question fully because the way I'm hearing it, sale price is the revenue that the sale brings in. So I'm not sure if we're not communicating properly.
Do you mean profit?
Yeah, if you mean profit, there's a field called gross profit. Let me share my screen again.
And by the way, Lisa said that it worked.
Oh, great. Awesome. Yep. Thanks for the update, Lisa. Okay, so yeah, let me share this again. So for for sales, if you look in the gross profit field, you'll be able to see how much money you made on that sale.
Okay, so she actually just commented and said, sorry, by sale, I mean estate sale.
Oh, estate sale. Okay, I got you. Okay, yeah. So what I would probably do instead of putting it in the vendor field, well, actually, I mean, the vendor field absolutely works.
She said, I would buy a bundle of items for a set price.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, the vendor field does work. Another option could be if you wanted to assign like the same SKU to all those items, or if you wanted to tag the estate sale in the notes. I think between those two, or between those three, vendor would be my number one choice, then notes, and then SKU.
Nice. Keep the questions coming, guys, and we're going to do another giveaway soon.
And this is a follow-up, which we did just address, but I want to make sure it's addressed in case anyone else is wondering and missed it the first time I said it. So is there a way to assign source to an item? So like where you purchase the item. That's the vendor field.
Nice. Very good.
And on that note, actually, if you do consignment sales in your business at all, My Reseller Genie on our premium and ultimate plan, we offer functionality where you can create a vendor who's a consigner and then assign a commission percentage to them. So then whenever those items sell, you can run a report and it says, here's how much you made, here's what the fees were, here's the profit, and here's how much you owe them.
It's pretty fantastic, guys. I will just say that. I was gonna say something else, and then I feel like it was important. Oh, well, maybe not important, but I did have a question for you guys while we are trying to find the next question. Where is everybody sourcing these days? Goodwill, estate sales. Also, I realize some of you guys might not want to tell us, and that's okay too. You can just keep your secret to yourself. But yeah, just like in general, where are you guys sourcing and finding all of those treasures? Let us know.
And Flamingo Getaways has a question for us.
All right. She says, do you have to have an eBay store, or can you just just a username?
Yeah, just a username. You don't need a store. You just sign into your eBay account through Genie, and it'll start pulling that data in. You do not need a store. Thank you for asking. Good question.
Yeah, that is good.
Lots of totes submissions here. All right, this is a great question from Jack.
Jack, how do you add an income amount to my Genie account that is not associated with a sale, such as interest or a dividend from a non-bank source?
Yeah. So right now, Jack, it's going to feel like fitting a round peg into a square hole. And the way you do it is you record it as a sale, and you'll just create a sales platform for whatever that income source is. So it'll go in the same place as product sales, but it'll be tracked separately on your profit and loss statement. That being said, we're actually going to be implementing functionality so that you can track other transaction types. So My Reseller Genie is more flexible for these sorts of accounting situations.
So exciting. All right, guys, we're going to do 2 more questions and then another giveaway. Then we'll get back to questions. Flamingo Getaways says again, is there a way to track mileage and expenses? Yes, there is. And we love this feature.
Yeah, so let's share our screen again and walk through that. There's the screen. All right, so what you'll do, well, a couple things. So the first thing is you could use My Reseller Genie as your like mileage log for your entire detail. A lot of folks, though, like to use an app like MileIQ that'll automatically collect that information. And then once a month, they'll record their mileage in Genie. So that is a totally viable option, which will be more automated than just entering it all straight into Genie. But to enter it into Genie, you'll click Add Expense, and then you're going to select a general ledger account. That's a fancy word for expense category. So we have 2 mileage accounts. One is for sourcing and one is for non-sourcing. So we click on that, and then we'll put in how many miles we drove, the date that we drove them. If we have a description, so like drive to Tallahassee for thrifting. Do you think I spelled it right?
I don't know, guys. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know if I spelled
Does
Tallahassee
anybody
right.
live in Tallahassee who's in the chat right now?
Yeah, so you click add, and then I'm in the sales details. There we go. Search mileage. Yeah, so then it'll go in with the deduction amount based on the date, so it knows the IRS standard deduction for the time period. All right.
Cool. All right, one more question, then we're going to do a giveaway and then get back to questions.
Thanks, Eric.
Wish eBay was as cool. Hey, we haven't let anybody know about something very exciting news about eBay. So My Reseller Genie is one of the sponsors to eBay Open this year in person. So is anybody in the chat going to be there? Anybody going to be at eBay Open this year? Or are any of you guys going to attend virtually? But yeah, we are just super, super excited. We're going to be a sponsor. We will be there in Vegas next month. So yeah, we're super excited about that.
Yeah.
All right. Candace says, if I wanted to change my method from accrual to cash, how can I do that?
Awesome question, Candace. So what you'll do is just go to the gear icon up here, and then you can switch your inventory accounting method in Genie there. So if you go from accrual to cash, it'll take away the inventory features because you're not tracking inventory, so you don't need those features. So yeah, that's how you do that.
All right, I said we're going to do a giveaway now. Ooh, our son Felix is being very, very loud right now. Okay, guys, so we are going to give away a free month of our ultimate plan. And what I want to do is, so it looked like we had several newcomers here and people who are not using Genie. So for anybody who is not currently using My Reseller Genie, I want you guys are the only ones who can enter for this, okay? So we're going to do hashtag newbie. So go ahead, type hashtag newbie in the chat if you have not used My Reseller Genie yet. And that will be for your chance to win an entire free month of our ultimate plan. Again, you can cancel anytime. And yeah, may the best reseller win.
Yeah.
I feel like I always have to say
hashtag newbie. Shout out Scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
Any Scrubs fans in the house?
Scrubs. Look at this, guys. The odds are great. 2 entries so far. Hashtag newbie, guys. Let's see. Should I up it to people who aren't on the ultimate plan too, or should we just leave it like this? Guys, I just got to say, I'm so proud of y'all because if all 32 of you would have done hashtag newbie, we would have known that some of you guys were lying. So good on you.
Hey, Jerry, you spelled newbie wrong.
So do NEW.
Or at least you spelled it wrong according to me. So in order to get it, you have to spell it right according to me.
All right. Hashtag NEWBIE. Let's do 5 more seconds.
This was a really restrictive giveaway.
It was really restrictive.
I feel bad.
Somebody's going to be super happy though. This is fantastic.
Well, someone also might be really unhappy because it was like my odds were 1 in 3.
Well, this is true. Okay. Sorry, guys.
All right.
All right, here we go.
5. Jerry, you got to do it.
NEWBIE. Quick.
Oh.
All right. Who's it going to be? Linda, congratulations. Evie is going to let you know in the comments what to do, but basically just email us to claim your prize. We will get you set up with an entire free month of Genie so that you can try it out for free. Guys, we are still going to do a few more giveaways before we're done this live, so hang in there. And also, guys, if you are not using My Reseller Genie yet, we do have a coupon code that is active for this weekend only. And it is going to be MRG Live 15. So MRG LIVE 15 at checkout to get 15% off of your first month. And that is going to expire this coming Sunday night at 11:59 Eastern. So make sure to go ahead and sign up for that if you haven't yet. And we're going to get back to some questions here. Crystal says, integrated my bank account. All my purchases come over as positives and my payments from eBay come over as negatives. Is that correct?
Yes. So a couple things on this. The first thing is right now in My Reseller Genie, we track expenses, sales, inventory, refunds. So a deposit from eBay, that's like a transfer of cash. Right now, we don't track those transactions. So anything that imports into your expense detail that is not an expense, right now, our guidance is to delete that. Now, I emphasize right now because we're going, like I was telling Jack earlier, we're going to be adding support for accounting for those different transactions within the next couple of months. But yeah, for right now, you would delete those. The reason the deposits are showing up as negative is because it's money coming into your account, but it's being recorded in the expense detail. So it's like the opposite of an expense, if that makes sense. All right. Okay, so picking Larker, can I run a sales report on notes? No, but My Reseller Genie is super friendly for extracting your data and doing reporting if we don't have it built into the app. So let me show you how you would do that.
Yeah, we make your data really accessible. Oh, by the way, Evie says that you did spell Tallahassee correctly. So.
All right, let's go. Where am I? Okay, so we would go to sales, and you'd set your time range at the top here for like when you want to look for your sales. And then what I would do is, so here there's a quick filter option. So I don't think I have anything in notes for these, but what I would do is whatever value you wanted to filter by in notes, I would type into here. So I'll say Hoka, and then only sales that have, actually, you know what? That's a good functionality, but not the most precise for this application. So what I would do is I would click filters and then specify you want to filter the notes field, and then contains whatever the note is. I'll go back to item title and we'll say Hoka. So then I'm looking at just the sales that have Hoka in the item title, so I can export those. And you can open up this spreadsheet in Google Sheets or Excel if you have it, and look at the gross profit, and then see the summary statistic at the bottom to see the total. Or if you're super fancy, you can click insert pivot table and then go nuts with a pivot table.
And if you guys are like me and don't know what that is, that's okay.
So there's so many ways to do things in spreadsheets.
There are for sure.
They're not great for databases like an accounting system, but they are good for data manipulation, data analysis. So that's how I would recommend running a sales report on a value that's in your notes field.
Awesome. All right. So Sam says, first year on bookkeeping for eBay. So on monthly expenses for phone, internet, electric, do I add that to our MRG?
Yeah, so you could. I'll say a couple things on that. So the first thing is, unless those services are exclusively for the business, you're going to be allocating a percentage as an expense for your business. So, I mean, some people would put it into your profit and into your books, and they would do like 50% if it's 50% used for the business. Some people would leave it out of their books entirely, and then just at the end of the year tell the accountant, hey, here were my totals for phone, internet, electric. Phone is 50%, internet is 50%, electric is, well, actually electric would fall under your home office deduction. So I wouldn't put electric in there, but phone and internet, it's kind of, you can do it either way. I wouldn't put electric in there or other utilities. Unless it's exclusively for the business. Like if you have a a warehouse that's owned by the business. But I don't think that's true based on it being your first year selling on eBay. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions on that, Sam. Great question.
Yeah, and Stephanie just replied about our consignment feature that she does 50-50, and it's an awesome feature. We think so too. Thanks.
All right. So Jerry, I have bad news. He's asking, do you have Canadian clients for MRG? So we are not compatible for non-US. We haven't tested our integrations with non-US accounts, and we aren't set up with non-US accounting standards in mind. So we are not a good fit for Canadian clients.
Yeah. Very sorry about that. All right, guys, these questions are great. Keep them coming. All right, Michaela says, can you explain the pros and cons of cash versus accrual method? Yes, but first, everyone take a deep breath.
Always breathe before cash and
Yes. Take a deep breath, and we got this. Paul's going to do a great job explaining, and after he's done this, we're going to give away another prize.
Okay. So the first thing that I want to start off with is making a distinction. So cash and accrual method overall for your business is a different conversation than cash inventory method versus accrual inventory method. So stepping back, cash versus accrual overall, most, if not all, reselling businesses are cash overall. The difference for resellers is typically accrual inventory or cash inventory method. So I'm going to focus on accrual versus cash inventory because I think that's your focus here. But I wanted to make that qualification before we got started, because a lot of folks will get confused when they look on their tax return and their accountant says cash. They're like, what the heck? I thought it was accrual.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
The difference, it boils down to one word, which is timing. So accrual inventory method, you record an expense when the item sells. Cash inventory method, you record an expense when you buy the item. So the way that it manifests is a little bit more complicated for accrual than cash. Basically, with accrual, you track inventory and you report inventory balances and numbers to the IRS on your Schedule C, and then they use those balances to calculate your cost of goods sold. If anyone wants me to go deeper into that, ask, and I'll go deeper into that. But high level, the pros and cons of each. So pros to cash inventory method are it's simpler, it's easier to do, and therefore faster. Maybe I shouldn't say therefore. Sometimes simple things take a long time. It's also faster. And it will reduce your tax liability based on all the inventory that you purchase in a given year. Now, the disadvantages are sometimes you miss out on some of the benefit of expensing inventory because it's not matching your costs with your revenue. So that's the advantage of accrual, is that it's more accurate because it's matching up the costs better with the revenues. So when I sell this item, I expense it. So that may not sound face value like it matters much, but if you imagine your first year, maybe you buy $10,000 of inventory and you sell $5,000. If you expensed all the inventory, you're not going to get like a credit from the IRS for, because you lost money, and you're not going to carry that forward as a sole proprietorship or single member LLC. So all that to say, you basically lose out on $5,000 of expense deductions. Whereas in accrual method, if you bought 10,000, you sold 5,000, you only expensed 5,000. I'm getting confused with my numbers are getting confusing here. So okay. I apologize for that. But the point is that your your revenue is not lined up with the expenses. And so sometimes you can miss out on deductions.
That's a good way
if
of putting
you're
it.
expensing the inventory as soon as you buy it.
Yeah. No, that's good. Also, guys, Evie just posted an article in the comments that goes over cash versus accrual. So if if you're not as auditory learner, if you need to read, that article can be good. So if you had to like really distill it, like accrual can take longer, but it's more accurate. Would you say?
Yeah.
Cash inventory method, it's a little faster, but you're not going to get as much detail into your numbers.
It's less accurate, so you have less of an idea of what's going on in your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you have any follow-ups, Michaela.
I thought it was.
Thanks for asking.
All right, guys, we're going to do another giveaway, and we're going to give away another tote, My Reseller Genie tote, and this one is open to everybody. You are going to drop in, give us just a second, hashtag and the word summer. I like that. All right. Hashtag summer. Drop that in the chat. This giveaway is open to everybody. Go ahead and do that. Hashtag summer for your chance to win a My Reseller Genie tote.
Yeah. Take your tote to the beach.
Yes.
Take it to the lake.
Is anybody going to the beach? And I wanted to look back through the comments. I know I want to go to the beach too. Because I had asked you guys earlier where everybody is sourcing. So while you guys are entering hashtag summer into the comments, I want to just go through these. Okay, so people are Goodwill bins, local thrift store, nice. Estate sales, yes. Okay, I have only gone to a few estate sales, but I have loved every single one that I've gone to. So if anybody's on the fence, like because it feels scary because it's a new thing, I'd highly recommend just giving it a try. It can be really, really great. Retail arbitrage, Goodwill, yard sales for the summer, occasional estate sales and online auctions. Nice. Very, very nice. Local thrift stores. Yeah, I love all these. That's so good. Hey, I just want to throw this out there, and this might be really, really helpful for some of you guys. So when I, am reselling more full time, and I have more time to do that, I will usually just do a post on my Facebook. Like this is to my personal, like friends, family, that sort of thing. And I just let them know, hey guys, if you're in the area, you're trying to get rid of some stuff, I will drive to your house and pick it up. If you're just willing to donate it. So that saves a trip for them. And that might kind of seem like, well, what are they getting for it? But most chances are they're probably just going to give it to Goodwill anyway, or to Salvation Army. And so, it is giving up some of your time because you're driving. But if it's local, guys, I have done really, really well with that. I don't want to say one of the really, really big things that I got because chances are that won't happen. But I'll just say it. Somebody gave me a brand new pair of Louis Vuitton heels, and they just gave them to me to sell. And guys, I flipped those bad boys for $500. So with that, let's draw our winner.
That was a super atypical situation.
That really, really was atypical. Chances are you will get a bunch of mall brands, but then some Coach in there, or I'm a clothes reseller, but you can get like a diamond in the rough with like each of these hauls.
Yeah, and you can beat the price on that.
Yeah, it's free.
So yeah, free. Definitely worth doing.
Yep.
All right, let's draw. Boom.
Yeah, Blanca says garage sales. Yes, those are fantastic too. All right, who's going to get this tote? Let me show you guys again.
Stephanie,
congratulations. All right, girl, shoot us an email and we will get you that. We will ship that to you for free. Congratulations. And we're going to get back to more questions here. These are great, guys. Coming down the finish line, I think.
All right, so Tammy, if you use the cash method, where do you enter how much you paid for the item that was sold so that your gross profit is accurate? All right, so I'm going to say a couple things on this, Tammy. So the first thing is there is a way to do this in Genie. Actually, now with our update, there is. I'll also say that I wouldn't recommend it. Now, the reason I wouldn't recommend it is because technically this would make it so that you don't qualify to use the cash inventory method because your records are making representations about the value of your inventory. That being said, I'm not going to come find you. And so if you wanted to do it, here's how you would do it. So you would record the expense in your inventory, in your expense detail. So add expense, inventory purchase, say it's $5. And there's a new field on the add expense form for a linked sale. So you can search for your sale, select it, and then click, I got to put a date in, of course, and then click add. And then this amount will be attached to the sale. Of course, I don't know which sale I attached it to, but 732 done. So it's going to be attached in this other fees field here, and our gross profit gets updated. And then if you ever wanted to check on that, again, you can click on that field and Genie will show you all of the expenses that are attached to that sale. Nice. So that's how you would do it if you were going to do it.
Awesome. And really quick, guys, let us know, are we breaking up a little bit? Evie, who is being amazing and moderating for us, says that we're breaking in and out just a little bit. So let us know. We are coming down the finish line here, but hopefully it's not too distracting and you guys can understand everything that we're saying. But yeah, we're going to finish these questions and then we're going to end with one last giveaway. So, all right.
All right, so this is like a feature request from Lisa.
Nice.
All right, so when I cross-list items, I have to delete the new inventory that My Reseller Genie recognizes so I don't have duplicate items. Then I have to edit the items to add the second platform. Can MRG integrate the two items? Okay, so two things on this. First, thank you for requesting this feature. We always really appreciate hearing from folks what they would like to see.
Yes.
So yes, this will be noted and added to our customer feedback list. Now, in the meantime, there is a way to turn off inventory syncing for other platforms so that when you're cross-listing, you don't get duplicated items coming in. So let me share my screen again, and we can review that. I think this is the right screen to share. Yes. Okay, so we would go to our integrations tab, and then there's a checkbox here. So daily integration inventory, you can toggle it on and off. Oops. Yeah, so you can toggle it on and off for your other platforms that you're cross-posting to.
Nice.
Great question, Lisa.
Yeah. Yay, Crystal's going to be at eBay Open virtually. That's exciting.
Nice. Hey, Swamp Picker.
So good to have you guys here. All right, that was our giveaway. Going through these questions. Guys, if there's any last questions, go ahead, drop them in the chat. We have a few more down here at the end. Michaela says, thank you. This was so helpful. I always felt like I did a hybrid method. We're talking about the cash versus accrual inventory methods. It's been confusing. For example, I purchase an item in May 2025. When it sells in July 2025, I deduct the COG then. COG is cost of goods.
Okay, and then she's got to follow up.
Okay. But when I initially purchased the item in May 2025, I paid that off my credit card right away.
Yeah, I got you. So really glad you brought this up because this is like another weird distinction in accounting that we don't think about until you start getting into accounting. So there's a difference between cash transactions and expense transactions. So like you can pay money out, but it's not an expense at that time. So what you're describing would be the accrual inventory method. You're recording the expense once the item sells. The fact that you paid for the item earlier, under the accrual inventory method, you wouldn't consider that an expense. That would be just a transfer of cash. And shoot, I'm even going a little too terminology heavy. So when I say transfer of cash, I just mean money is moving from one place to the other. But expenses are not being recorded when that money moves. Thank you, Michaela. It's really helpful. All right, let's see.
All right, more questions.
All right, so Flamingo Getaways, do you use cash or accrual?
I use accrual, Flamingo Getaways, and accrual is the way to go, in my opinion. Talk to your accountant, but yeah, it's so accurate, and I actually know the health of my business, and I can use all that information to make better business decisions so that I can grow. I can't talk.
All right.
All right, Sam is saying, using the accrual method for inventory, how do you figure out value for something that's been in your house for 10 years as an example? I have the video queued up to send in the comments too.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so Mark, Not Your Dad CPA, has a great video talking about this and digging into it a little bit more. Basically, you're going to have to assign a value to these items. You should assign a value to these items. And it's going to be whichever is lower, what you initially paid for it or what the current market value is. So there's a little bit of a gray area there in terms of how you assign the value. But I will say, if it's a personal item, you don't want to claim a loss on it. So that's like a no-no. So what a lot of people will do if they're selling personal items is they will, once they sell it, whatever the gross profit is, they'll just put in an inventory value that zeroes out the gross profit.
Yeah.
So that's a fairly straightforward way of handling that situation.
Yeah. And guys, we are going to go ahead and drop the video link to that video. If you haven't heard of him, his name is Mark 2. He goes by Not Your Dad CPA. And he's just fantastic. He has been a reseller in the past, and he really understands resellers, just their accounting needs and stuff. And so he actually posted a video answering that question. So we are going to go ahead and drop that link in the chat. If you guys need that, you can go check it out.
I'm just laughing at Sam's comment.
Me, my CPA.
I hear that. Sometimes when you're starting out, that's how it needs to be, Sam.
All right, Tammy's saying, do you see newbies at the eBay Open, or is it generally experienced resellers? So Tammy, this is actually going to be our first in-person eBay Open. They used to do them in person, I believe, before COVID, and then they went virtual. So we've been a part of the virtual ones for the last several years. That being said, I really do think that it's a mixed. I do see a lot of seasoned eBay sellers, but if, I don't know which one you are, but I'll just say at any of these events, and we've attended a lot of them, not just from eBay, but other platforms, you just learn so much, and everybody is very friendly, just willing to share. So I would just recommend, if you can't go in person, go virtually. If you go to our website,
Evie, the virtual's free, right?
Yeah, I think so. Evie, if you can drop the events page to our website in the chat, guys, we have just some of the events that we're sponsoring, and there's just a direct link that you can go and register for eBay Open there. And just get some more information. So Evie will go ahead and drop that link. But yeah, great question there. All right, Stephanie says, hey guys, I should probably know this, but I've recently started selling on Depop. Is there a way or a plan to be able to integrate Depop?
So there is not currently a way to integrate Depop, but it is definitely on our list. Yeah.
And guys, hang on. If you don't know, you can still track sales and inventory from any and all selling platforms in My Reseller Genie. If you don't have an integration for it, you're just going to have to enter it manually. And it does not take much time at all. Do you want to show them really quick how to do that, or?
Yeah. So
are we running out of time?
No, we're not running out of time. So there's two ways that you could add sales from other platforms. So one is recording it manually, and you just click report sale. And then if you're tracking inventory, the quick view is great because you can just kind of focus more on the sale details, but you'd select the item, put in your sale price, shipping costs, transaction fees, all that good stuff, put in your sale platform. And if it's not already in this list, you can add custom sale platforms. And then sale date, add, or if you have multiple sales, you can click add next, and this form stays open. Or if you have if you're comfortable with working with some spreadsheets a little bit for uploading data, you can click bulk upload. And then if your cash inventory method, you do upload without matching to inventory. If your accrual, upload or match sales to inventory.
Guys, everyone give Paul just a virtual round of applause because he's answering so many questions and you are doing great, babe.
Yeah, and then we have this uploader flow. It tells you all the column names in Genie, what format they need to be in. It has examples. If you want an upload template, you can download an example right here. And then we'll see if this works. You'll upload a file, gives you a little preview, next step. And then you can match the columns up from your file to My Reseller Genie. We do some checks to make sure all the data is good. If it's not, we tell you, hey, you need to fix this. If it is, then you just import.
So it looks like they can't see what we're doing.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, your screen wasn't sharing. All right, guys, can you hear us right now?
Was it just I have two tabs open.
Oh, that's why.
Shoot. Okay. Sorry, guys. Let's rewind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for letting us know, guys.
Yeah. So report sale is here, and you can select the inventory item if you're tracking inventory, or you can just type in the item title, put in your sale price, shipping costs, transaction fees, all that good stuff. Set your sale platform. And then at the top here, if you don't see the platform you're tracking in the list, you can add it. Set your sale date, and then add button will add the sale, close the form. Add a next will add the sale, keep the form open. Or if you have a spreadsheet, you can click bulk upload. You select your upload type, and then this is the screen I was talking about that has the column names in Genie, the formatting, examples, and descriptions. Here's where you can download an upload file template. Next step, we select our file, and then you can use these drop downs to match up fields from your file with fields in Genie. So that's what I was talking about while you couldn't see my screen. Thanks for letting us know.
Yes, no, that's so good. All right, I think we're winding down. Is that? Oh no, we have a few more questions.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So from Lisa, I buy items that I take to buy sell trade stores. I'll accumulate from various sources, then sell in lots. Best way to record that in MRG. I'm currently using a spreadsheet to track items in COGS.
Yeah. So great question. What I would probably recommend.
She has a follow-up to that. I just want to make sure that might change how you answer. So Lisa's follow-up. Can you add that to the screen? I'm adding the inventory and sales manually, but it would be nice to track bulk inventory and MRG prior to selling that have different vendors and costs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would say right now, My Reseller Genie is not set up to do everything that you're wanting it to do. We do have plans to add functionality so that you can have a little bit more flexibility with that kind of an inventory situation. Yeah. But I mean, right now, your best bet would be recording the inventory with multi-quantity when you buy it in a lot. So like you can enter in a single inventory item, put the total purchase price, and then a quantity. And then whenever those items sell, Genie will expense the average purchase price of those items. But it gets a little trickier when you have multiple different vendors and Yeah, that can become a little bit more of an inventory challenge that Genie is not really ideally suited for yet, but we will
on our
be,
list.
yeah, we will be adding some more functionality.
Yeah, that's good.
Which will help with that.
All right, guys, it looks like that's the end of the questions. If there's a few left, feel free to drop them in the chat. We're going to do one last giveaway.
Also, before you talk about that,
yeah,
Lisa, if you have time and are so inclined, would you mind sending an email to support@myresellergenie.com, just giving us as much detail as you can about your whole process? So like from purchase to sale, just so I can make sure I'm totally understanding what you're doing. Because understanding those situations helps us as we're building the software to make sure that we can accommodate as many folks as possible.
Yeah. And Sam, yes, thank you. He's asking best way to reach the team for help. I actually wanted to hit on this before we do this last giveaway. Guys, customer support. We are passionate about it. I think all of us have had at least one bad customer, support experience, with the company or whatever. And Paul and I decided at the very beginning when we started our business that we were going to be just pour everything that we could into customer support and giving you guys a great experience. So we respond to emails every single day, 7 days a week within 24 hours. It's usually a lot faster than that. And we are well loved for our awesome customer support. So we are here for you guys. And it's that email address that Evie just dropped in the chat. It's just support@myresellergenie.com. You can reach out to us. You can also reach out to us on our Instagram or Facebook. It's just @myresellergenie. And we respond to DMs as well. And definitely, guys, if you haven't, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the like button as well. But
and I just got a Slack actually from our customer support rep, Roger. Some of you may have been chatting with Roger, but he wanted me to remind everyone that we have live office hours every week. So we've been doing them at 1 p.m. Eastern. He and I were chatting about it this week, and we're planning to move it to later in the day. So we think that might help more folks to be able to use that resource. Yes. But you can sign up for those on our Eventbrite. So if we change the time that we're doing it, you'll be able to see it on Eventbrite.
We need to get the link for that. Do you have that open right now? Yeah. Guys, we're going to go ahead and drop the link. Evie, I'm sorry I didn't get you that. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and just drop the link so that you can sign up for those office hours, guys. But yeah, I totally forgot about that because it's kind of something new that we've been doing. So we have virtual office hours. So here is the link right now, incoming, and you can sign up for any one of those. Like you can sign up a month from now, you can sign up for next week's. And yeah, so we would love to hear from you guys there as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Roger. Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you, Roger.
Plug in the office hours.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Is that?
Oh, we got a question from Candace. So what about in-person sales? I do vendor markets occasionally. Love this question, Candace. Let me share my screen with you. And okay, we're on the right screen this time around. So for those in-person sales, what I would do is you click on report sale. I'd go up and I'd say add sale platform. And so if there's like a market that you're doing kind of consistently, you can name it after the market. Or if it's, you just do like pop-ups here and there, it's not really a consistent one. You could just put something general like pop-up markets as the sale platform. And then recording those sales, it's going to be the same as if you were like recording for Depop or another platform that we don't have integrations with yet. So you'll select the inventory on this form, populate the sale details, click add, and then you got those sales recorded.
Fantastic. All right, and then awesome. The Picking Larker says, thanks so much for all the info and help. I love using My Reseller Genie. It's been a lifesaver. We really appreciate that. All right, guys, if there aren't any more questions, let's end with a giveaway. We are going to give away one last month of My Reseller Genie's Ultimate Plan, and this is open for anybody. So if you currently use My Reseller Genie, if you haven't tried it out yet, you guys can all enter. And what are we going to be entering in the chat? Should we do hashtag?
One second.
Oh,
I
sure.
gotta get this screen shared.
All right. Yes, that's right.
All right.
Let's just do hashtag ultimate. Does that sound good?
I don't know. It's kind of plain.
Plain? Okay.
What if we did
Ooh.
winner chicken dinner?
Oh gosh, that's too complicated. There's too many ends in that.
That's too complicated.
Yes. How do we do hashtag Felix?
How about Tallahassee?
No, don't you. All right, come on, babe. Come on.
All right. Sorry. Yeah. Hashtag Felix.
All right, hashtag Felix. And for those of you who don't know, that is the name of our son. So go ahead and just drop that in the chat. Tammy is saying, if I switch to the ultimate plan now, will it duplicate what has already been uploaded?
So great question, Tammy. What you'll do is when you upgrade to ultimate, you'll go to the integrations tab and you can connect your sale platforms there. There's an option for syncing new sales and stuff. That's going to default to roughly a day ago. So I would say your first 2 days, check the sales that have imported because you might have some duplication there because the manual sales don't have IDs associated with them, so we can't filter out duplicates. But after that, you should be fine. And it's not going to automatically just import a bunch of past sales without you telling it to. And all of that to say, if for some reason you do have a bunch of duplicated sales come in and you're not sure what to do, reach out to support. We can help you out.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Hashtag Felix. This is your last chance. Free month of our ultimate plan. I say we draw it.
Yeah. All right. 5 seconds?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom.
All right. Who's it going to be?
Margaret Mack.
Margaret, congratulations. You've won a free month of Ultimate. Go ahead, shoot us an email to support@myresellergenie.com. Evie's going to drop that information. Margaret.
Yeah. Congrats, Margaret. That's really awesome. Guys, if you're not using Genie right now and we piqued your interest tonight, check out that coupon code MRG Live 15. You can get 15% off your first month. Yeah. You have a 14-day money back guarantee. So if you're not thrilled with us, you can reach out and say, hey, I want my money back, and we'll give you your money back. But we think you'll be really happy. And if you ever have questions, we're always happy to answer. support@myresellergenie.com.
Yes.
Thank you all for being with us tonight.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. We will talk to you guys soon and hopefully see some of you guys at eBay Open. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good night.